Good afternoon, my friends. How are we? I hope that you're all in fine form. A couple of thank yous early doors. David Borthwick, thank you for becoming an Anfield Agenda member, mate. Appreciate you. Ethan, happy birthday. I was reading your comments. Say you're 29 today. Happy birthday, my friend. Lots of love to you. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. And I hope your birthday actually brings us some good news, mate, with regards to injuries and stuff. But either way, my friend, happy birthday. Great to have you with us. Right, how are we all doing? Sarah Kinsler, how are you? Or Sarah Kelmendy, Sarah, let's go again, Sarah. Sarah Kelmendy, how are you? Nice to see you in. Adam, it's your birthday on Sunday. Nice one. Happy birthday, mate. February birthday. So when was your parents at it then? Have we worked it out yet? Would have been what? I don't know. May? Something like that? April? I don't know why we're trying to figure out when your parents were at it, mate, to conceive you. But either way, happy birthday on Sunday. Right, what have we got? Ready for the daily fix. Good afternoon, said Pete Woods. Pete, how are you, Macara? Good afternoon to you, my friend. Look, I think we're starting to get a bit of a better picture. Not bitter, it's not a bitter picture at all. Bit of a better picture about the lay of the land, Liverpool search for a manager. We've got a bit of information on the sporting director side of things. Of course, all eyes and ears are waiting to hear confirmation of the injury situation about Liverpool. We'll go through that at the moment. The general consensus for Diogo Jota seems to be about 2 months. I'll read you out some of the stuff that we've seen today around the Diogo Jota incident. Where is it? Where's the Jota one? Where's the Jota one? Sorry, bear with me. I have the Jota news here somewhere. I'm just scrolling through. Where is it? Is this it? Nope. It's about 2 months for Diogo Jota by the sounds of it. Sorry. With regards to Curtis Jones, well, we do have a potentially positive update on that. Paul Gorsta said Curtis Jones had a scan on Sunday and faces a wait to see if he can feature in Wembley on this Sunday. Now, that wouldn't be too bad, right? If Curtis Jones was only out for a week, based off, the fears when he went off, leaving the stadium in a protective boot on crutches, I mean, I'd take that, to be honest with you, if it was only a week. Even if he does miss the final, I'd still take it, because, we had this discussion last night. We asked you guys, what's more important to you, Wednesday night against Luton Town and 3 points in the league, or the League Cup? And just about, but it was a close vote, people said Wednesday. So if Jones only misses one league game, I'll take that as a massive win. So, but we have to get confirmation on it. We don't know the exact injury situation yet with regards to him. Mohamed Salah, I know a lot of people are concerned about Mohamed Salah, and it looks like he's in a race against time for Sunday. Now, it's no new injury concern that I'm aware of. It's just the impact of playing football after being out for a while. He was cramping up and stuff like that after the game, and we again await confirmation on that. The latest we've seen today is Salah's injury has renewed and his absence from Liverpool and the Luton Town match. Now, that's translated on Google, so obviously the gist of it is he's feeling something. Now, I don't like the phrases being used there that his injury has renewed. That's not my understanding of it. My understanding is he was cramping after playing a part against Brentford, and like I mentioned at the time, I'm sure Liverpool's plan would have only been for Salah to play 25 or 30 minutes, but because of the injuries that were mounting up, we had to make a change earlier when Salah came on, maybe before the team, or certainly the medical team, would have liked him to. So I'm sure he'll be okay longer term, but does he miss Wednesday? Well, I'm about to record my preview for the game after this stream, and I'm not going to include him in my 11 because I don't see at this point how we can make that call looking at what we're hearing. So I think we're probably going to have to do without Mo. But if he's fit for Sunday, I'm sure we can cope. We've coped without Mo before. It's the Darwin one, if I'm being honest with you, that concerns me the most. I've not really read or seen much on Darwin Núñez today, but the concern of him being out for a while is a big blow to us, in my opinion. I think he's the one that makes us tick. He's the one that is the battering ram, if you want. So if he's not available for either or Luton or Chelsea, I'm concerned because we need him at this moment in time. Not that we don't need the great man Mohamed Salah, but I think we definitely need Darwin Núñez. Sorry I was late, 8 a.m. here in LA. Mate, no need to apologise, Janine, Gary. You're very welcome in, and you're a better person than me being up at 8 a.m. because I wouldn't be up at 8 a.m. for anyone, to be honest with you, let alone little old me. Although I'm sure that's not the only reason you got out of bed today. I'm sure the matter of having a life probably adds to it. A little bit of positive news from our samurai star, Mr. Wataru Endo, has donated 10 million yen to Ishikawa Prefectural Football Association for the earthquake that occurred in Ishikawa on January the 1st. He said, we've recently made a donation to the Ishikawa Prefecture Soccer Association. So there you go. A little bit of positive news there. Again, lovely signs from Mr. Wataru Endo. Now, you know when something walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, tastes like a duck, goes in a pancake like a duck, it's probably a duck? Well, I don't believe something. So this is being posted, and apparently Kylian Mbappe has signed his contract at Real Madrid. Now, I don't not believe that he signed the contract, but I don't believe the numbers involved. So apparently his annual salary is ranging from 15 million euro to 20 million euro, which is about 300 grand a week to 400 grand a week, there or thereabouts, in euro. So put your hands up if you don't believe that. Hi, I'm Craig. I don't believe a word of it. Signing bonus of 50 million euro. Okay, that sounds a little bit light, but it's believable. And there's a presentation planned at the Santiago Bernabeu. Grand, no problem with that. But on what planet are we supposed to believe that the man who was making 160 million euro a year at Paris Saint-Germain has suddenly jumped across for 15 to 20 million quid a year at Real Madrid? I'm not having it. I don't believe it. The devil of these things is always in the detail. And if he was only really looking for that much money, let's be honest about it. If he was really looking for a 50 million signing on bonus and 15 to 20 million euro a year, which is about £300,000 a week, do we not think that Arsenal and Liverpool would have paid the money? Because remember, Arsenal and Liverpool looked at it and walked away from the deal because they believed it would have to smash their wage budget. Well, that wouldn't have broken the wage budget. So, lies. I don't believe a word of it, quite frankly. I think this is once again Madrid trying to make out like the player wanted to play for them so bad that he was willing to take massive pay cuts to do it just to wear the white shirt. I don't believe one fucking sentence of it, my friends. Not one. Insert dolphin noises there, by the way, Ben. Sorry. I keep forgetting. The lads try to restrain me from cursing as much as possible, but sometimes I just don't believe what I'm reading, and that's one of those situations where not for 1 second do I believe it's true. What's the news on Jota and Jones? Jota, the perceived length is 2 months. There's been a few people talking about this today, and no 100% confirmation yet from the club, but 2 months seems to be... actually, do you know what? I'll give it to you another way. The journalists seem to believe he'll be back for the last few weeks of the season. So go with that way if you want, but 2 months seems to be the perceived understanding. With regards to Curtis Jones, scan was done on Sunday, and I mean, again, going off what the media are saying, it's a race for the final next Sunday. So if it's 1 week or 10 days, I mean, again, it could have been a lot worse for Curtis Jones. So we'll await official word from the club. Jurgen will have his Luton Town press conference tomorrow, so we'll get some more up-to-date information. I think it's 1:30 tomorrow, if my memory is correct. And then on top of that, what else was there? There was a few other things ahead of the game at the weekend. Leave it with me. It'll come to me at some point. Right, so a couple of other bits and pieces. We were all waiting for Ref Watch today so we could see the hypocrisy on full view. And as always, Mr. Dermot Gallagher does not disappoint. So let me talk you through 2 incidents that Dermot Gallagher spoke about on Ref Watch and see if you can spot a difference. Incident number 1. Man United's Casemiro avoided a second yellow card for a lunge on Luton's Ross Barkley. Dermot says the yellow was for an accumulation. That was his 4th foul. I disagree, Dermot. I think it was his 5th. But anyway, Dermot said that was his 4th foul. With the next tackle, I don't think that was a yellow card. And B, going back to what I said, the yellow was for 4 fouls. This is the first foul after it, so it's a matter for the referee and how he's totting it up. Okay? So remember, Casemiro, yellow card, the first one, accumulation of fouls. Then it becomes a totting up process. So that's Dermot's mental gymnastics for Casemiro. Now let's move on to Dermot Gallagher's words on Calvin Ramsey. So the incident was West Ham's Calvin Phillips, picked up 2 yellow cards in 3 minutes and was sent off. So remember, totting up process for Casemiro. Dermot says he got the yellow card for adopting an aggressive attitude. When you're on a yellow card, which is why you don't make this tackle, he's given the referee a decision to make there and he knows it. So Casemiro, totting up process, starts all over again. He had 4, starts all over again. Calvin Phillips, got to be careful making that challenge. You're giving the referee a decision to make. Do you see why I get a little bit annoyed about these things? For one person, it's no second yellow card there. He only made 6 fouls. For Calvin Phillips, it's, well, he's on a yellow for giving the ref lip, so he shouldn't be making that challenge because he's given the referee a decision to make. These are paid professionals being full of it to camera, and not one of these idiots calls them out on it. Not one of them. Sue was there. The Sky presenter was there. And I can't remember who the other host that was there was. But not one of them. Not one of them called him out on that hypocrisy. Yet again. It's baffling. Why are these people paid? Stephen Warnock, that's who the other one was. Yes, it was Stephen Warnock. Why are they being paid for these stupid opinions? Why are we having to be subjected to it? It's hypocrisy again. And they don't even see it. That's what gets me about it, like. Mad. Thoughts on ticket resellers? I mean, probably the same as you. Disgusting. Hate it. But I don't know how to stop it. That's the honest answer. Like, the idea that people are keeping, let's say, season tickets or whatever and just selling them off, it's not great, is it? But you know what gets me the most? This is what really gets me the most. And I can only speak from Liverpool's perspective on this, but I'm sure it applies elsewhere. So with Liverpool, if you buy a normal standard season ticket in the Kop, let's say, no reselling allowed. Not allowed, do it. Bold person, you're horrible. Buy one of the corporate tickets, pay more money for it, give it out all you want, pass it around, give it to sponsors, do whatever you want with it. Why is that? Why does spending more money on it make it morally okay to not use it yourself and give it away to everybody? Genuinely, think about it for a second. If you have it in the Kop and you're caught giving your ticket to somebody, it can be taken off you. But if you're in the Carlsberg hospitality dugout or you're in one of the posh seats, doesn't matter. You can gift that to as many people as you want because the club have fleeced you multiple times for it. Why is that okay? It's okay because somebody in the club says it's okay because they're making more money on it. Morals don't matter when it comes to making more money. See what I mean? Hypocrisy again. Stupid. And again, I can only speak to Liverpool, but I'm sure that applies to other clubs as well. Makes no fucking sense. Oh, except for money. Right, a little bit on the managerial search, and this I think is positive news. Liverpool want to be respectful to Leverkusen, but it's 100% confirmed that they want to go for Xabi Alonso. They know everything about the contract situation, and there's a gentleman's agreement with Leverkusen for him to leave this summer if he wants to. And that comes from Fabrizio Romano, and it's been picked up and ran with by lots of different people as well. So it does look like Mr. Xabi Alonso is the club's number one target. I was listening to Melissa Reddy actually on Sky, who I thought spoke very well about the situation. And again, Melissa was running through some of the statistics around Thomas Frank, Roberto De Zerbi, styles of football and stuff like that. And one thing actually caught my eye that when Melissa was talking about it on Alonso was his tendency and his shift from short passing. So we've spoke about Alonso's style of football at Leverkusen, and we've asked, could this be implemented at Liverpool? Well, if you go back to his Sociedad days, he played it a little bit differently. He had 40.0% or 40.5% short passes when he was playing at Sociedad, with 43.2% medium passes and 16.3% long passes. So playing with Sociedad's B team, he played a different brand of football. When he moved to Leverkusen, those short passes increased from 40% to just under 58%, with medium passes 34% and shorter passes, again, a lot less. It doesn't give the percentage on this information actually, but You can see a change of style there in his play. He was a little bit more direct at Sociedad B, but when he went to Bayer Leverkusen with a different set of personnel, he was able to change his tactics. The reason I bring that up is I think it's incredibly important that he's not just a system manager, that he is able to look at what is available to him and figure out a style of play based off the attributes of the players that are there at the club or the players that he's brought into the club. So I thought it was a really good piece from Melissa Reddy, who I always have a lot of time for. I think she's a great journalist when she talks about, well, I'm only interested when she talks about Liverpool, to be honest, but she's a very good journalist. I'm always ready for Melissa, said Malcolm. Now, let's be respectful. Melissa is a fine journalist and, yeah, very insightful. I enjoyed listening to it. Right, what else have I got to go through? Right. So we talked about Xabi Alonso and we talked about the fact that he is clearly Liverpool's number one target as per Fabrizio Romano and most other people with any common sense. But this comes from Jacob Steinberg, and he said, there is growing concern at West Ham that Tim Steidten could leave this summer. Sources believe he's frustrated with the way that West Ham operate and feels he's not been given enough power. So the question I have for you guys is, do we think that's a natural frustration for Tim Steidten? Or is it because he knows maybe Liverpool are interested and, he's suddenly a little bit unsettled? I don't know the answer to it. I'd like to think it's because Liverpool are sniffing around, but let's wait and see. On that, actually, a little bit more on this. So, Moritz Steidten, a German scout and the brother of Tim Steidten, has joined West Ham as head of international scouting and recruitment. He was recommended for the job by his brother, the technical director, Tim Steidten, who we've just spoke about, as being reported by Jacob Steinberg as being unsettled. Make it make sense. I'm not saying anybody's right, anybody's wrong. I'm trying to figure it out. So, in one sense, you've got a man who gets his brother a job or recommends his brother for a job in the club he's working at. And then in another sense, the same man isn't happy in the club he's working at because he hasn't got enough power and wants to leave. I don't know what to say. Truly, I'm lost. There you go. But it is news, so we got to talk about it. What it means, your guess is as good as mine. Hasn't his brother joined at West Ham? Yes, he has, Cotman. That's what I was just saying. But there you go. West Ham are falling apart. I'm sure he is looking around, said Stephen Landry. Yeah, I don't... excuse me. I don't understand the whole Moyes out thing at West Ham. I don't get it. This is my take on that situation. That West Ham fans are getting ahead of themselves. That they're forgetting what Moyes did to get them to win a European competition, be regular qualifiers for European football, and playing some good, attractive football. I don't understand the Moyes out stuff at West Ham. I don't get it. I feel like he's just one of these managers that doesn't really get enough media respect. The situation at Manchester United as well, I feel like that was set up from to fail. I think he did a great job at Preston, a great job at Everton, and I think he's doing a pretty good job at West Ham. I don't understand why we're at the point with West Ham fans with his banners and stuff wanting him out. I think it's weird, personally. I think, a manager that literally just delivered you a European trophy, the first one in your history, and you're wanting them out the next season when you're still in Europe after topping your Europa League group. That doesn't make sense to me. Does Alonso play a high press? Yes, actually, his the stats from Melissa's piece on Sky, and I don't have it to hand, it did show that they counter press or pressed higher than Liverpool did, but I don't know if it was as frequent because they retained possession more than Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team. But there was certainly some aspect of his pressing with Leverkusen that was increased over how Liverpool press. But I can't for the life of me remember the exact number or the exact framing of how Melissa explained it. But it's on Sky. I'd say if you have the app right and give it a watch. Moyes' style of football is what fans hate. Winning stuff, though? I mean, I get it. Everybody wants sexy football. Everybody wants to play swashbuckling, attack-minded football, but consistency is key in the Premier League. And say what you want about my style of football, it's been effective. And in Europe, it's delivered them some incredible nights. It's helped them to generate a lot of cash as well, moving on the likes of Declan Rice for 105 million quid. I think he's... I don't... Look, fair enough if you're not happy with him fully, but to be putting up banners and stuff looking for him out, I think it's a bit too far, honestly. But, again, each to their own, I guess. So statistically, Leverkusen is better than us. Well, statistically, Leverkusen right now are the highest ranking team in world football, I think, from some of the data that was mentioned recently. Now, I don't know how these things are measured exactly, but look, all we need to know is that he's the one that we want, he is the one for ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry. Not sorry. Right, a little bit of news on the AFCON. So... breaking, FIFA and CAF have reached an agreement in principle to hold the 2025 Morocco AFCON from mid-July to mid-August. Please just make up your mind, please, and thank you FIFA and CAF, please just make up your mind. This moving it from winter to summer to winter to summer to winter to summer is quite frustrating, in all honesty. Everybody wants to be respectful of a competition, of course we do. You could see what it meant to all those players who participated in the recent AFCON, particularly the Ivory Coast, of course, the host nation who went on to win it. Incredible scenes, great colour, great fandom, you know, enjoyable. But please just make up your mind when it's going to be, because it's very frustrating for clubs, and I speak for all clubs here, I think, not just Liverpool, to see players that you sign maybe. So let's say, for instance, you sign players now and you think, right, we know that this is going to be a summer tournament. So you're signing players and then you're thinking, right, we're going to have them for the season. And then maybe they change their mind again because the weather in a particular part of Africa at that time of the year is monsoon season or whatever, and they change it. And it's just frustrating. And nobody wants to be disrespecting the AFCON at all. Nobody. But you get where we're coming from. Like, same with the feckin' World Cup, by the way. They can stop moving that around as well. This moving it to a winter tournament, to have it in Qatar was a disgrace. Not, again, nothing to do with Qatar, but it's a summer tournament. What's your alternative to Alonso? I mean, I guess I can give you one, but I'll be honest and say, Alonso, alternatives. So there's 4 coaches that I could stomach if Liverpool brought them in and they weren't Alonso. Postecoglou, De Zerbi, Nagelsmann, and Amorim. I think those 4 I wouldn't agree with, but I could understand. After that, I think we're getting into the realms of silliness. I feel like it's a weird time, though. I've said this before. It feels like a changing of the guard moment in world football at the minute, where the big, hugely respected coaches in world football, your Peps, your Klopps, your Ancelottis, maybe your Zidanes, your Contes, your Mourinhos, you know, they're almost, I don't want to say football's moving past them, but they're getting to the latter parts of their managerial careers. And football's, to some extent, innovating, and you've got coaches like Amorim, Alonso, De Zerbi, and many other young coaches, by the way, kind of more energized, who are making a pathway through. So that's what makes it more difficult. You know, we've got smaller sample sizes of some of these younger coaches coming through. But again, to go back to what Melissa Reddy said about what Liverpool want from an ex-coach, it's not a Jurgen Klopp light. It's not a replication of what Jurgen has done. It's somebody that will understand the football and philosophy of the city, somebody who will make a connection with the fans, and somebody who will, of course, be able to overachieve to some extent with the financial situations and the way that we set up the play. So it's Alonso, isn't it? If we think about it like that, it's Alonso. Emery deserves a mention. Yes, but he won't be a consideration. That's why I haven't mentioned him. Unai Emery is an amazing coach, but Aston Villa have a project there, a well-backed project. And again, it's not realistic to go in and just take him out of Aston Villa. So I don't think he deserves a mention, as you've mentioned, but I don't think he's a candidate. Although, to be fair, I did mention Postecoglou, and he's not going to be a candidate either. Spalletti is a good show. And not for me. I don't like the idea of Luciano Spalletti. If we're looking at somebody who's managed in Italy, Inzaghi is probably the one for me that would carry himself in the mould of a Liverpool manager. But even at that, still doesn't feel like a good fit for me personally. Is there a late night agenda tonight? Oh, there surely is. We will be a 8:30 as always, my friend. Don't you worry about that. I got you. It's my favourite show of the day. You bet your ass there's going to be a late night agenda. So this coming in again from Raphael Honigstein and The Athletic said, Bayern Munich are weighing up a move for Xabi Alonso should Thomas Tuchel be sacked. Any move would be with a view to taking the job in the summer. So what did I say to you guys last night? Remember when there was an announcement that Thomas Tuchel wasn't going to be sacked and he wasn't going to quit Bayern? Now they're already talking about managers in the summer because he's going to be fired or leave by the summer. You know, the 3-2 defeat to Bochum yesterday certainly didn't do him any good. But, you know, you're going to lose, Bayern. You're going to lose. There's no point in going for Alonso. You're going to lose. I'm going to say it again. You're going to lose. Just take Mourinho or somebody else and away with you. Xabi will make the correct decision. And look, let's be honest about it. Pushing aside any of our biases, it's a better job. It's a more attractive job. It's a job with a far better payoff with regards to if you deliver silverware. You know, there's not, if you got to Bayern, you're expected to walk the league and deliver a Champions League. If you come to Liverpool, you're expected to do well, but my God, if you win the league, you'll know all about it and you'll never have to buy a drink again for the rest of your life. Probably a meal either. So yeah, look, just take your L, Bayern. Off you pop. You got Klopp light. The way you pop. Maybe try and schmooze up the Klopp in a year's time or something, but don't be coming for a Xabi. Craig, the Brentford game, in your prediction, you said we're going to win 2-1, but we won 4-1. Okay, I don't know what you want me to do with that, David. I actually said 3-1, mate, on the day when I seen the team, but you're still right. I was still wrong, but it is just that, my friend. It's a prediction. It's I'm just happy we won it, David. In all honesty, you know, it had banana skin written all over it, didn't it? And you know, to manage the game as well as we did, I was really proud of the team. I thought we were excellent. I thought Verge and Kanade helped marshal that defence really well. I thought Bradley was fantastic. Waturo and McAllister in midfield, absolutely top notch. Obviously the great man coming back with a fantastic assist and a goal. Darwin, I mean, the only negatives really on that day were of course the injuries, but everything around the game, buzzing, mate, absolutely buzzing. Amini said, Craig, I would like Ange, but he always plays way too much of a high line. When it goes wrong, he's no plan B. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. He is balls out attack, isn't he? And the high line you've mentioned. But I can understand how people love it, and I like watching it. I love high risk, high reward football. I do. I like the way he plays football. I like the way De Zerbi plays football, but you know, I'm unsure if he's ready for the huge leap up, even though he's really, 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 really highly regarded by other coaches. I think Pep said he's the best coach in Europe, but you know, Pep seems to. I think Pep's ease on the ground there for him to come in and take over when Pep leaves. Hopefully leaves in disgrace, let me say that. But also, thank you to everyone who commented on the rant. I usually don't read into the comments on videos like that because, you know, I'm putting myself out there and I expect to be slaughtered. But I read through a lot of the comments on it, and it was nice to see that people felt like I was saying some of the stuff that's on their mind. And that's always the aim, you know. In these roles that we have, either myself or Goldbridge or AFTV or True Geordie or Redmen or whoever, our job is to try and represent the greater fan base. And we won't always get it right, but certainly that little rant last night wasn't planned. It came from the heart, spur of the moment. And thank you to everyone that understood what I was trying to say. And thank you to Ben for inserting all the dolphin noises to get rid of the swearing. But yeah, it was nice to see, that at least people understood. They might not have agreed with everything I said, but at least they understood where I was trying to come from. Hey, where are we at? Craig, on West Ham, I do see the fans' point of view. They technically have brilliant players like Kudus, Paqueta and Bowen. Far from Maguire, McTominay and Moyes wanted, yet still set up so negatively. So you say far from McTominay and Maguire that Moyes wanted. Well, look at who's bailed United out a lot this season, in all fairness. McTominay scored some important goals from the bench. And if you listen to Ten Hag speak, and he's been doing nothing but praising Maguire on his resurgence and how good he's been. So, I mean, you can look at it both ways in that regard. With regard to the style of football, again, I understand it. Some football clubs like to play the game in a certain way. Spurs fans like to be entertained. United fans like to be entertained. Liverpool fans like to be entertained. But it's also about being effective. And nobody else in the history of West Ham United has delivered them a European Cup. David Moyes did that. He topped the group in the Europa League this season. He's gone deeper into Europe than United have, who've been knocked out of Europe altogether. Newcastle have been knocked out of Europe altogether. He's had to balance losing a £105 million midfielder. The recruitment that they've brought in with some of their players that you've mentioned, Paqueta, Kudus, that's been brilliant for them. So I understand the style of football argument, but as I said, I'm not saying West Ham fans don't have a right to maybe want a bit more, but I don't get we're at the point of banners and stuff. I think Moyes deserves a little bit more respect than banners inside the stadium saying that they want him out. That's my take on it. But as I said, of course, they have a right to their take as well. That's their football club. Craig, I heard there any truth in the rumour that your dolphin machine is now broken? Probably. We need to come up with a funnier noise, I think, than the dolphin machine, though. Right, let's have a look at the fixture, shall we? And see of the three clubs that are really challenging for the Premier League title. Let's see who we've got left. So, Liverpool, these are our fixtures in the Premier League. We've got Luton at home, Forest away, Man City at home, Everton away, Brighton at home, Sheffield United at home, United away, Palace at home, Fulham away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, Villa away, Wolves at home. So, for me, the worrying fixtures in there, obviously City at home is one you have to take care of. I think we cope with Brighton at home and Everton away. Obviously going to Old Trafford is going to be difficult. I think we win it, but still a game that you've got to get right. Spurs at home and Aston Villa away. Those two of the last three games going to be important for us there as well. So I think there's probably four fixtures there that there's a possibility for us to drop points in my opinion. Now let's look at Manchester City. They've got Brentford at home, Bournemouth away, United at home, Liverpool away, Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Villa at home, Palace away, Luton at home, Tottenham away, Forest away, Wolves home, Fulham away, West Ham home. Now, look, I think anybody would probably look at that and think they have a more difficult run of fixtures there. I certainly do. Let's look at from Liverpool. So they've got to play United at the Etihad, Liverpool at Anfield, then Brighton at the Amex, Arsenal at the Etihad, Villa at the Etihad, Spurs at their stadium in London. That's a difficult run of fixtures. Now, like us, City are capable of going on a good run, but it's not easy. So far, I'm still thinking we've got a better run in than them. Now let's look at Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. They've got Newcastle at home next up, which, again, big game for both sides. Eddie Howe's Newcastle are falling away a bit, so they're going to want a response. Sheffield United away, should win that. Brentford at home, they should win that. Chelsea at home, depends what Chelsea show up, doesn't it? We've seen Chelsea go to the Etihad and get a draw. So we've drawn with Chelsea away at the start of the season, then we battered them 4-1. They've got Manchester City away after Chelsea, difficult game again. Then they've got Luton at home, Brighton away, Aston Villa at home, Spurs away in a North London derby, and then they finished the season with Bournemouth at home, Manchester United away, and Everton at home. So again, you'd say 4 or 5 fixtures there that Arsenal are going to be concerned about. I think we've got the best run in. That's my opinion. Honestly, I think we've got I'm not going to say easiest. Let's go with more favourable run in. But if you look at the amount of home and away games, I guess, then what have we got home? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 home games to play. City have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 again. And Arsenal, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everyone's 7 home games to play. I think our most difficult games are Manchester City at home and Aston Villa away. They're the two, and United away maybe. So, look, I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling confident. It's going to be close, not going to lie, said Malcolm Billington. It is, and I think everyone drops points. I think we'll drop points. I think it is going to be close. But the next few games are going to be really important, right? So for us, next 3 league games are Luton, Forest and City. That's our next 3 league games. You'd have to say you fancy us to win the first 2. And if we can beat City at Anfield, that's going to be a big night. And then you've got Manchester City's games. They've a derby against United before they play us away. And then they've got Brighton away and Arsenal at home. That's a difficult run of 4 games. Arsenal, you look at, they've got Newcastle at home next, which is a tricky enough game at the best of times. Then they've got Chelsea at home, City away, and Brighton away. So, there's no clear favourite there for me with regards to fixtures, but I like what we have. I think ours is manageable. I just came, is Salah injured? No, he isn't. There's a concern because he suffered cramping after the game against Brentford, and it's unlikely he features against Luton, but the hope is that he's going to be back, or he's in a race to be back for the League Cup final. That's where we are. There's been some communication from Egypt that maybe he's had a recurrence of his injury. I think some of that has been lost in translation, literally. But yes, there has been reports that he suffered some cramping and stuff, and that's understandable, to be honest, coming back from a timeout. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, Liverpool probably wouldn't want to have brought him on that early in the game against Brentford. Probably plan was for about 20-25 minutes at the end, but obviously with the injuries we suffered, needs must. Did you watch The Rock's Bad Guy promo? I don't know. I stopped watching wrestling. Probably... I mean, I'm not going to say when I was a kid because that's an absolute lie. I think I probably stopped in my early 30s. So no, I haven't seen this promo. But I do love a good WWE promo. You have to factor in the injuries too. Of course, Marco. Absolutely, mate. But look, we also have to remember that the likelihood of Manchester City and Arsenal going injury-free to the end of the campaign is probably fairly slim as well. Both are still involved in Champions League football as well. City, Arsenal are still in the FA Cup, aren't they? Certainly City are still in it. So, yeah, look, we do, but we don't really have, outside of Jota, Thiago and Matip, the long injuries aren't there. I mean, yes, by Chechich perhaps, but if you look at people who are playing this season, Jota's going to be out for probably 2 months by the looks of it. But after that, Trent shouldn't be that long. Szoboszlai shouldn't be that long. Alisson, 4 weeks, 6 weeks maybe, based off what we're seeing in the media. So yeah, it's frustrating, but hopefully if we can get through, because there's an international break coming up in March as well, don't forget. So that will give us a timely 2 weeks where we don't have to be concerned with English football. Oh yeah, we beat Arsenal in the FA Cup. Sorry, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Yes, of course we did. We beat 2-0 at the Emirates. This is why I need more coffee. You're right. Yes, of course we beat Arsenal at the Emirates. 2-0. What a day. But yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm not awake yet. What's this? Mohammed talking about selling some more players, are you? 130 million for Salah. Joe Gomez. You can forget about selling Joe Gomez. That's not happening. I'll tell you this without a shadow of a doubt. There is no hope in hell Joe Gomez goes to play in Saudi. Not a hope. The the rest of the list I don't really care about because it doesn't really concern us, to be honest, my friend. But Mohamed Salah, I don't know what happens there, but there's no way Gomez goes to Al Ittihad, mate. Not a chance. He's only 26, I think. 25, 26. No, too important to us. And signed a new contract last year. City have no injuries. They kind of do, to be fair. They've been dealing with one with Grealish. I'll be amazed if De Bruyne gets through the remainder of the campaign without another knock. And they might not have an injury to Haaland, but his old noggin isn't doing what it should be doing, and you can see the frustration. Honestly, from the outside, I see a situation there with Haaland. I don't think everything is as they want us to believe. I think Haaland wants to go to Real Madrid. I do. I think that's going to be the next goal here for Madrid, is desettle or unsettle Haaland. And I see cracks inside that Manchester City dressing room. So there you go. That's my take on it. Wait, Gomez is only 26. Yep. I know. Feels like he's been around forever, right? Well, he was 18, I think, when we brought him in from Charlton. Just joined the stream. Is there any update on Jota? So, what you've heard about a PCL has been kind of doing the rounds, Connor, but 2 months is the general consensus, but we'll get a press conference on Jurgen tomorrow, 1:30, I think, is the Luton Town press conference, so hopefully we'll have a little bit more clarity at that point, although I would say tonight when the embargoed stuff comes out, we might get a bit more. Have you ever seen Liverpool with as big an injury crisis as this? Our injured team is almost as strong as the current healthy team. It's bad, mate. Yes. I think there was an injured 11 that was done by somebody, which does show the extent of it. But I guess the only positive is that a lot of them aren't long term, if you can find a positive. So a lot of people have been asking about Sepp van den Berg, actually, and the Mirror put out something around his future, which I thought I'd just bring up to you guys. It said Liverpool defender Sepp van den Berg has seen his opportunities limited at Anfield, and the Dutchman has accepted he may need to move to pastures new next term. Now, obviously, we've got to somewhat take that with a pinch of salt, because for all we know, the next manager could come in and have kept an eye on Sepp van den Berg's time and thought, we like him, he's a good young defender. But again, I just brought it to you guys because it was an update and people have been asking about it. Also on Dan Ashworth, David Ornstein put out an exclusive yesterday or last night that said Dan Ashworth has been placed on gardening leave by Newcastle, follows a request to leave as sporting director and join Manchester United. Newcastle United want £20 million in compensation. United have already ready to wait, as they don't intend to pay what they deem unrealistic. So wait and see what happens there. But if I remember correctly, and I think I do, didn't Newcastle have to pay, was it Brighton, compensation when they brought Dan Ashworth in? So I don't know how long United are going to have to wait, if it'll be till the summer or longer if they don't pay the compensation, but let's see if they pay it or not. I feel they're going to pay it, but let's wait and see. What's the news on Neto? There isn't any that I'm aware of. The last we spoke about Pedro Neto, Wolves were bracing themselves for interest, but they put out such a stupid number that I don't see anybody paying it. So there was 2 different valuations I'd seen on Pedro Neto. One 50 to 60 million pound, which is probably realistic in all honesty. And the other was 93 million euro, which is ludicrous. For a player that has undoubted talent, but has also had some pretty long spells out with injury. So look, a lot of us admire Pedro Neto. I certainly think he's a cracking young player. But the fuck are we going to pay 93 million euro? Like, nah, can't see it happening. And it's the injuries as well. Same with Elise. You'd have to say that the amount of football he's missing would be a concern to anybody looking to bring him in. He's again an amazing young footballer. I'm gonna make a guess. I think PSG tried to sign Elise. That's what I can see happening, because they want young French players brought in there to build this French spine of a team. Well, I think they're going to come in for Elise and try to lure him to Paris. That's my guess on that one. Is Salah available for Wednesday? Almost certainly no. No. You know, the talk in the media is it's 50-50 for Sunday, for the League Cup final. So, no, I would say almost certainly, unfortunately, no Carabao Cup. What's this breaking? Liverpool will be without Diogo Jota and Curtis Jones in the Carabao Cup final, and it remains to be seen whether Alisson will return before the international break. Which again, that comes from Paul Joyce. The international break is the start of, this is the second week of March. You might know that actually because I'll be in Boston on the 22nd of March. See what I did there? If you would like to come and see us, don't forget, get your tickets. Ticketmaster, they are still on sale. 4 weeks and 3 days to go. 4 weeks and 4 days to go till we're in Boston. We'd love you to come and see us. And you can get tickets with the link in the description, or of course just check out Ticketmaster. And lastly, this coming from Chris Bascom, Thiago Alcantara is still out for several more weeks. I mean, of course he is. Predictions for Wednesday. About to record them in about 20 minutes, Johnny. So the preview/prediction video for a Luton game will be out at about 6 o'clock, mate. And please do give it a watch and let me know what you think of the score prediction and, of course, the starting 11 prediction. Is the Curtis Jones injury serious? It doesn't... We don't know, but the consensus so far after having a scan seems to be not too serious. Again, I don't want to say expect him back in a week, but I think of the two big injury concerns from the Brentford game, he's the one that I think we should feel the most confident about, based off what we're reading. The one that worries me though was Darwin. Very quiet on that situation. Obviously we heard he was taken off because he felt un poco or something little, but I don't know anything after that, and that concerns me because, you know, whatever about losing Mo, that's hard, but you know, Darwin's a huge part of our chaos, and I think not having him, we could probably get through Luton, but you'd want it for the League Cup final. Is the Salah injury serious? I don't think it's even an injury, Emmy. I think it's a reaction to just coming back to playing competitive high-level football after being out for a month or so. You know, it's cramping and stuff like that that's been reported. So, yeah, I'm hoping that that's the case. You know, it doesn't surprise me. We say this many times. Secondary niggles and stuff when you're out from particularly muscle injuries like a hamstring and stuff, not unusual. So you would hope that he gets rested up, gets massaged, gets ice packs and stuff in his legs, and fingers crossed he's okay for Sunday. But certainly don't expect him to play any part on Wednesday based off what we're seeing in the media. It's a home, surely we win even without a strong team. We should, Zach. You're right, you know. But Luton are fighters. They put a lot into that game against Manchester United yesterday as well. So I think we'll be okay against Luton. Again, but I don't want to give away my predictions, but I think we'll be alright. I'm on the east coast of the United States. I hope I can make it to Boston when the time comes. I'd love you to be there, Ethan. If you travel across, my man, let us know. Make sure you point yourself out. You know, jump up and say, "Motherfucker, I'm Ethan." And I want you to say that. But yeah, it'd be great to see you, mate, if you can make it. Craig, I told you the other week we're in for an injury crisis. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to that, man. It's, look, this is what I think right now. It's all hands on deck, siege mentality time. The whole world's against us, even if it isn't. If I'm Virgil van Dijk and Jurgen Klopp in that dressing room now, I'm saying one game at a time, as cliched as it sounds. Get the job done against Luton Town. Try win it in the first hour. If we can be lucky enough to rest a couple of players then for the last half hour ahead of the final on Sunday, so be it. And then go and take on Chelsea, see what happens. Hopefully, you pick up that trophy. That carries you momentum, a little bit of positive energy into Nottingham Forest game. We get that done. Midweek before that, I think we play Southampton in the FA Cup. Gives you a good chance to rotate there, and if you need to, maybe win it late from the bench. So, look, after this game on Wednesday, I think we're okay. We'll find a way through. It's the City game. I think we need to have circled in big red bold pen in the dressing room and try to get to that game unscathed. It's BS that Chelsea got their game postponed. It is what it is. For me, I'm not as fussed about Sunday. You know, if we win it, it's great, and I of course want us to win it. But if you ask me right now, would I take 3 points against Luton or the League Cup against Chelsea? I'm taking the 3 points against Luton because my priorities are the Premier League and the Europa League, especially would have been Jurgen's last year, because we don't get another shot at Jurgen winning the second league title or Jurgen winning the league title and getting to celebrate it properly with the fans. So my goal's 100% focused on winning the league. Joyce didn't rule Dom out of the final yet either. Yeah, interesting. I haven't seen anything new on Dominic Szoboszlai. Yeah, so I don't want to say anything around him because at the moment I haven't got a clue. Yes, Mark sent me this as well. I forgot to mention from earlier. Conor Bradley is the at Rising Ballers baller of the round for his performance against Norwich in the FA Cup. Another little award for Mr. Conor Bradley. And look, I think you'll all agree with me. Whatever that young man, whatever praise he gets at the minute is thoroughly deserved. I've done that. I've done the Waturo stuff. Done that one. Done that one. Yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything I needed or wanted to cover in the 4 p.m. show. So a couple of questions to finish up. Maybe if anybody has any questions, lash them into the chat. Just a reminder again, of course, I'll be back tonight at 8:30 for the big show, the late night agenda, where love to see you guys back. And of course, record the preview, Craig. That's coming out soon. So 6 o'clock or so, you'll see the preview uploaded. Do drop a like if you haven't done so already. There's 281. Love to get that towards 500 if possible, my friends. Is Alisson out for the City game? Or excuse me, if Alisson's out for the City game, we're screwed. Are we? Look, you're better with Alisson in the team than not, of course. But, I mean, I don't go to the we're screwed part. I wouldn't give up that quickly. Would you play Elliott or Gravenberch for the final? Elliott. Yeah. I think Klopp goes with Gravenberch, ironically. If Mo isn't available, then maybe you see both. Maybe Elliott gets the right wing position. One question, why are you so sexy? It's just a cross I have to bear, T, you know? You know, it's difficult. I get up in the morning, I catch a glance of myself in the mirror and I'm like, Jesus, you're so handsome. And then I have to lie back down 5-10 minutes, get back up again, making sure not to make eye contact with the mirror again. Come downstairs, first thing everybody says to me when I come downstairs is, my God, you're so handsome. I was like, all right, Harvey, calm down. Sorry, mate. I'm just leaning into your silliness. Wouldn't be surprised if he uses Clark or McConnell in one of the games. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that McConnell was actually on the bench for the Brentford game and Clark wasn't. Maybe you should go to Specsavers. I tried, Aidan, they couldn't help me. They said even we can't do anything for you here, Mr. Houlden. Just go about your deluded ways elsewhere. I have the same problem myself, said Crimbo Klopp. It's tough, isn't it, bro? People don't understand, you know. Me, you, Beckham. It's difficult, isn't it? Walking down the street, constantly having to put up an umbrella to stop the knickers from hitting you in the head. And I said knickers, by the way, before anybody tries to cancel me, as in underwear. It's difficult. I mean, I've 2 people employed to walk behind me to pick them up because I don't like litter and I don't like being involved in litter. And so we pick up all the underwear and then, look, I'll be honest with you, we sell them on eBay. We do. We sell them on eBay. It's how we fund the channel, really. You know, second-hand knickers. That's what we do. Used underwear. And it's not even mine. Why would it be? It's women's, Craig. Anyway, I think that's probably the right time for us to say our goodbyes this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. See you at 8:30. Much love as always, and check out the preview. It's going to be up at 6 o'clock. I'll talk to you then. Bye bye.